Where my food comes from is of great concern to me because I like to make the best dishes I possibly can. And I know that the best ingredients yield the best dishes. And you might say, okay, Todd, you're a chef and you teach people to cook all over the world. And you're at the top echelon of picking out ingredients. And well, that's implying I'm a snotty chef. And I'm not a snotty chef. You don't have to be a chef to be concerned about where your food comes from. You don't even really have to know how to cook. If you can tell the difference between a really nice, fresh tasting raw carrot and a raw carrot from halfway across the world that is kind of limp and flavorless and been sitting in the grocery store, you don't even have to cook to know that the nutrients and flavors are better in fresher ingredients. So this summer I want to examine this as closely as possible and find out where my food comes from. Now you might be concerned about where your food comes from like I do for different reasons. Maybe it's the economy, the amount of money that you have to spend on food. Maybe you're looking for better quality for your dollar. Maybe it's the earth. Maybe it's supporting local agriculture and your local farmer. Maybe it is like me, it's the ingredients and just the flavor of it. But where do your local fruits and vegetables come from? Do they come from halfway across the globe or do they come from halfway across town? Well, this is going to be something that we'll continue to examine. The first step of which is I want to examine and visit someone that works with farmers directly. So I went to pay a visit with Sandy Cronick, and she's going to tell me how community-supported agriculture works in my area. I'm here with Sandy Cronick from Eastern Carolina Organics, and all of my audience, the people that want to learn how to cook with basic cooking methods. One of the reasons for this and one of the great benefits is they can use any ingredient that they want. So I've come to Eastern Carolina Organics to try and figure out where our food comes from. So start, if you would, telling me what is Eastern Carolina Organics?
Sure. ECO was started in 2004 to try to make it more convenient and accessible and really make more of a dent in the food system for people to buy local, family farmed and organic food. And we try to support North Carolina family farms by giving them more of a reliable, secure outlet that they can ship high volume or low volume of bread and butter items like cabbage and potatoes, or more unique and boutique-y type of items like arugula and spring onions and things like that. So as being a grower-based distribution company, primarily number one is that we have growers as part owners in our company. Right now it's up to 19 farmers that own part of ECO.
So it's not just taking their food and selling it for them. You're not just a distribution. You are of benefit to the business of helping the community of farmers.
In order for us to be a successful company and be able to sell their product, we have to coach them through quality control, which means post-harvest handling, packaging, labeling. We need a good graphic label with all of the food safety requirements to be on the label. So there's a lot of work that has to happen before the strawberry is actually ready to be picked or the sweet potatoes are actually ready to be washed and graded.
So how will someone know they go into the grocery store that they're buying something locally versus buying something from Chile?
Well, most of the customers we work with do a really diligent job of labeling because they want to promote that they're making the extra effort to support family farms.
So look for the label. Here's the question that comes from my audience most often. Why should I bother? I mean, when I go to the grocery store and the pepper from Chile is 99 cents and my locally grown pepper is $2.19 or something, that's the biggest objection I always get, is that it's too expensive and I'm trying to feed my family. Why is it important to buy locally?
Gosh, our audience is so committed to local product that it's fun for me to be asked this question. Ultimately, if you don't care about the flavor benefits, which impact the nutrient benefits, if you don't care about the fuel that's being consumed in shipping that product from Chile, then hopefully you at least care about the relationships. And when you're working with any company that's seeking to preserve and identify traceability and the farm behind that product, you know that there's relationships involved there.
Traceability.
When there's anonymity behind some pepper grown in Chile, you have no concept of how the farmer and the farm workers are being treated. So hopefully there's an element of a social interest in not just making sure that there's a more direct connection with the supplier themselves, but also an impact, therefore, on your local economy. I mean, it certainly comes back around.
Yeah, I told Sandy I'd take no more than 10 minutes of her time, and you see what happens when you get two people that are passionate about good food together. But I hope some of this sinks in for you. I hope at least you start to question and look in the grocery store. Where is that apple from? Where is that strawberry from? Where's my lettuce coming from? Whether it's because of labor laws or you're concerned about how people are treated that work in the fields, whether it's just the flavor of the strawberry and you're concerned about that, whatever it may be, start to think about where your food comes from and start to ask these questions. I know I've got a lot more questions to ask of Sandy.